Hotep Black Power, as always, giving honor to the created ancestors, my sister, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, my father, my in-laws, and all of our ancestors and brothers and sisters and subscribers. Okay, I want to just recap and talk about some things I talked about earlier in the week. Now, when we talk about the realism, we just gonna work with the Bible today and show y'all the realism that you need to be instead of living in that spook world and that world of mythology. Give me a second. The fairy tale mentality that I'm talking about. And excuse me, 1 second. Okay, black people need to deal with reality when it comes to any and all religious content. You know, and I like Revelations 1:15. If you read it, see what it says. It says his feet were like burnt bronze refined in the oven. Revelation 13:14. Hair was white like lamb's wool. His eyes were red like fire. Now, does that look like someone, and those scriptures come out of the book of Revelations in the Bible. Now, does that look like someone with white wool hair, with a face of bronze like it's been burnt, fiery eyes, and hair is white? Which picture would make more sense to you describing that individual? This picture or this picture? And see, when I did the first part of this video, you know, a lot of y'all had a goddamn fit when it came to a black Jesus, because you hate that. And I'm talking about black people. I can understand, well, if whites would have had something to say, but it was you house niggas, it was you blacks that couldn't stand to see a black Christ. And so you come up with this bullshit about it makes no difference shit. So if it makes no difference, why do they keep lying? If it makes no difference, why they keep lying? And you're saying we supposed to believe the lie, just go along with the lie. No. And if you're teaching your babies that shit, you are totally wrong. And that's why these youths act like they act. Because the situations like this that they read about don't add up and don't make sense, and it confuses them. And then you wonder why they go and get high as they can get. You know, even Acts 5:30, it says that the God of our fathers raised Jesus, who ye slayed and hung on a tree. This is biblical scripture. You know, and you know, and black people want to paint this picture of Jesus like, you know, he was this little, you know, this cold-blooded little fuck ass puss boy, you know, that got smacked around and just let shit just go like it was, you know, like it went. And you know, and then a lot of you talk about, you know, hating and all. God hates a lot of shit. It says in the scripture that God hates certain shit. And far as him being crucified or whatever, you know, You teach these babies that he just let these people, Pontius Pilate, just take him and he walked up a hill and let them nail him or hang him or whatever the situation was. Come on now. Who do you know? If FEMA came to your house right now and say, okay, you know, you study the word, you're Christ-like, so we're going to crucify you. Come on, follow us and walk up this hill and let us put you in this incinerator. Would you just walk on up there and say, oh, they don't know what they're doing? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And even in the scriptures, if that was the case, why did it take the Roman army to come and get him, to take him up there? Because he fought the whole fucking way because he wanted to live too. Now, I'm talking about, you know, I'm talking about those who follow this stuff. Those who follow this. I'm just making a point. I'm just showing you the realism in these scriptures. You know, I'm not a Christian because I know what this stuff is about. But I'm saying those who follow this. I'm not gonna say believe, and then again I am gonna say believe because the three words in believe is lie. So for those who believe this, that, you know, any human being, you know, would fight tooth and nail to not be nailed to some wood or be hung on a tree. That's bullshit. And you may not be able to see that brother, that blue-black brother that's hanging up on a cross. Just like when it says that when Jesus went into the temples, you know, now they got this white Christ knocking on the door with these old sissy ass faggots behind him, and he's knocking on the door with his open hand to the temples. When it says that he turned over the tables, you know, with whips and drove people out, beat the shit out of people, had a sword and a whip. But they got him at the door, knocking on the door with an open hand. Hello, it's Jesus. Open up. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. And that's why, and see, you know, that LGBT community, see, they push shit like that, you know, on our youths and on our babies. You know, and that's why our people still accept these ass whoopings and slayings from these motherfucking police, you know, from police terrorism, you know, mass incarceration, AIDS, infant mortality. The same way you get your ass whooped by a cop, you know, the same way they con you into telling you to kill your baby at Planned Parenthood. This would fit the description more than anything of a black Jesus with a whip beating the shit out of people in them temples, turning over tables, knocking motherfuckers out cold, slapping the shit out of them, hitting them and chasing them out with swords. The money changers and the hustlers and, you know, the white supremacists. That would fit that description more than these other pussy ass fuck ass boy pictures. Same with the Last Supper, you know, which is a bunch of bullshit. You know it's gonna be your last meal. You know, why would you sit up there and look at the picture? You know, they sitting on each other's laps and all this shit. You know, and this is the reason why our children are so confused. This is the reason. Because there's no accountability. In this picture, in this painting, there's no accountability. Zero accountability. Opposed to this picture, where there's structure. There's melanin. You know, so if you're going to follow these scriptures, follow them right and tell the truth. Stop giving out these little patsy boy ass stories and twisting these stories up to make soften our babies and our men up, to make them not fight, turn the other cheek. And the only time you turn the other cheek is when it's a white cop or another cracker. But when it's somebody that look like you don't turn the other cheek. And that's a whole bunch of contradictory bullshit. Just like when a lot of y'all go in church on Sundays, you go get that hour shot of hope. 11 o'clock, you go in there, get that hour shot of hope. You come out 12:30. 1 o'clock, you're at the traffic light. You're dealing with road rage. You're cussing people out. You go home. You treat your husband like he's a piece of shit. But you bow down. You stand up when the pastor walks. You bow down to his ass. And you up there hollering, clapping, and singing and crying and all this shit. But then, your help me, the other half of you treat like shit. And then you wonder why you're so schizophrenic. You wonder why you deal with so much self-hate. You wonder why you stay so angry all the time. You wonder why you go out and over-discipline your children. You wonder why you cuss your neighbors out. You wonder why people that look like you can't make a mistake or anything towards you. And then you wonder why you keep going against the grain and respecting the people that hate you. And that's why our black youth, it eats them up when they gotta respect law enforcement like they do, and law enforcement don't respect them. But because they've been trained to obey white supremacy and all the people that look white, that are a part of white supremacy, and it creates anger and rage. And not just only in the youths and the babies, but our people in general. So we got to stop that, because we quick to criticize each other. A lot of you can't wait to critique and criticize me. But you will not do that to your supervisor or your boss, who won't allow you to be sick. And you got to come in with the flu. You got to take so much shit off of them when your check is short. You afraid to say something because, he done told you, you can't make no mistakes because they really didn't have it in their budget to hire you. So if you make any noise, you out of here. And so where do you take that pain? Where do you take that anger and rage at? To him? So if you made in the image and likeness of Jesus, if you are of color, you would look at that picture and say, I'm not made in the image of God, so I must be nothing. So everybody that looks like him with that same complexion, they're the chosen people. I'm not the chosen people. I'm supposed to be a slave. I'm supposed to shine shoes. I'm supposed to accept minimum wage. I'm supposed to get beat up by the police. I'm supposed to get over sentenced. I'm supposed to be on welfare. Because I'm not of the chosen people. Because I'm not created in the image and likeness of God. And right now, this picture, some of you black people, this picture burns y'all up to the core. If I was a Christian, that would be Jesus to me. That would be Jesus. And nothing else. I wouldn't even go to a church that didn't have a blue black Christ. And then one person commented and said that her church don't have no picture. And so what does that tell you? That you don't want to even you don't even want to put a picture of yourself up. See, because since you can't put your oppressor and your slave master up, you don't put nobody up. See, a lot of y'all come with a whole bunch of bullshit trying to justify this self-hate that y'all have within yourselves. Keep saying shit like it don't make no difference and all that. Come on. And then Michael Jackson even made a song, makes no difference if you black or white. Yeah. Tell that to Mike Brown's family. Tell that to Trayvon Martin's parents. Tell that to Oscar Gray's parents. And all the police that murdered them. Tell them that. Because they don't see it like that. And it's clear indication, just like this Prince Harry and Meghan shit, even though she's just like a female Obama, she's a mulatto, and the true colors of these devils coming out. Because I don't use that royal family, because ain't nothing royal about them motherfuckers. My family is royal. Your family is royal. They're not royal to me. Because they're not even loyal, so how can they be royal? They're a bunch of racist people that colonized Africa, that dominated London and England and that part of and allowed the Portuguese to take the other side, France, Italy, and all that. You got the Pope on one side, you got the motherfucking so-called queen. She's not my wife is the queen. My wife is a queen. She can never compare. That bitch over there can never compare to my queen. Never. We are the royal family, and she's a Moor. She's a peasant. We don't have a history of blending with black. That's a disgrace to the heritage of the royal palace. Charles, where's the car? All that bullshit, And just like what's the Duchess? She had a picture of a black slave pendant on her lapel of her jacket, and then they're gonna talk about she didn't know that it was there. She didn't know that Meghan or whatever was coming to the palace and some old shit. And then all you niggas are so, what are you jumping up and down for? Like I tell you, my wife is the queen. That bitch over there ain't no goddamn queen. That wrinkled, decrepit motherfucking whore, is not no queen. She's responsible for a whole lot of atrocities. Like I said, they colonized Africa, among a whole bunch of other things. So, I'm not buying that shit. Give me a second. So, once again, like I always say, we gotta wake up. And let's just deal with reality. Let's deal with the truth. And see, this is the thing. Everybody that told the truth that was of color was murdered and are not here today. And those who are fighting for our liberation and salvation, they don't get the support that they need to create a movement to stand up against these opposing forces, against our oppressors. We continue to give in. We continue to be scared. You know, one person comment say, you want to start a race war and go to FEMA, and we send us to FEMA camps. That probably is going to happen anyway. So you mean to tell me that I'm not supposed to fight for my great-grandchildren and great-great-great? No. You know, if you scared, say you scared. Just step back, but keep your goddamn mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. You know, and the reason why we are in the condition that we in, this is the core reason. The core reason is religion. Religion is the opiate and the fentanyl of the people, specifically black people. Because we pray and stick by everybody else, and at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck about us. And history shows that. History shows that. And so, when do we wake up? Because it's only going to boil down to one thing, and this is just straight up war. Straight up war. And we tried everything else, hand-in-hand books, and the more we sing, the more they swing. The more we sing, the more they swing. And Malcolm even said we need to stop singing and start swinging. We keep doing that. No justice, no peace. We do that shit every time one of our brothers is murdered or brothers or sisters murdered. Nothing happens. They write a check and let the police go and kill another nigga. That's just how it goes. But when you do something to a white person, all hell breaks loose. Just like the boy that got labeled a hero at the Waffle House in Tennessee. He's a hero because he saved whites from being murdered. Because they don't say nothing about the four black people, the people of color that was killed. You don't hear nothing about that. All you hear is him being awarded as a hero from preventing whites in the Waffle House from being shot. Take it how you want to take it. You can say what you want. Trayvon, is a Trayvon Martin tonight? Is somebody that's going to be a Trayvon Martin? It's going to be an Oscar Grant every single day and night in this country, United Snakes. You can say it how, you can say whatever you want to say. You can critique me. You can make little side marks and all that, but you know the truth is the truth. That's why you sisters, it's a shortage of black men because of your participation in pacifying your sons, making them sissies, telling them that they don't have to fight. And a lot of these white police are homosexuals. Why they got you up against the car, hands on the hood, they go back and say they calling to check if you got warrants, and they sitting there masturbating, playing with themselves because they got you bent over. Because the white man, 90% of the white men are homosexuals if either pushed or being trained to be sissified. That silver spoon up the ass. And that's why Prince Harry is marrying Meghan, because she has that melanin, that part of that black in her that can sustain him, that can make him powerful. Because white Masons, is part of their law that in order for them to be labeled as a man, they have to have sex with a black queen. And Harry's not the only one. There's a lot of them. It's a lot of them up in that palace that would love to be with Meghan. You know, I've heard there's no pleasure or better joy than to be acquainted sexually with a black queen. The sex and the honey hole, which is melanated, is so pure and strong. So Harry's not the only one. He ain't the only one. He's the smartest one, but he's not the only one. That's just, you know, I like to put a little humor and stuff too, you know. Sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. This your brother Shaka saying Kofi. Hotep, Black Power.